Tariffs are raising prices in Pennsylvania, and the State House passes a bill to raise the minimum wage. This and more in today's Week in Focus for the Pennsylvania Capital Star. First, tariffs and uncertainty over them are forcing up costs for businesses in Ohio, parts of Pennsylvania, and 2 other states. And some of those costs are being passed on to consumers. And if you aren't sure what a tariff is, it is a tax on imports that is sometimes imposed to foster domestic industry, and at times they're imposed in retaliation against perceived unfair practices by trading partners such as China. The news comes as recent polls show that voters strongly disapprove of the way President Donald Trump, the author of huge new tariffs, is handling the economy. Now, while many of Trump's tariffs have been delayed or are just beginning to take effect, the Cleveland Fed report said their effects are being felt. Retailers noted a pullback in consumer spending, and manufacturers said that ongoing economic and trade policy uncertainty continued to reduce demand for their goods. Next up, there was a significant step taken in the House this week to raise the minimum wage, which has been stuck at $7.25 for 16 years, the lowest among neighboring states. In the latest effort by Democrats, lawmakers voted along party lines to raise the minimum wage to $15 for most Pennsylvanians and to $12 for those working in smaller rural counties. The measure's sponsor, House Labor and Industry Committee Chair Democrat Jason Dawkins of Philadelphia, said the bill is an attempt to compromise with Republicans who have long warned about the potential impacts on businesses, especially in smaller counties with a lower cost of living. There was opposition from Republicans like Minority Leader Jesse Topper, who said that not every wage is designed to be a livable wage. Now, to become law, the bill will have to pass the Republican-controlled Senate, so stay tuned for updates. And finally, a GOP challenge to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court's ruling on provisional ballots is dead after the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear the case. In its 4-3 decision, the court found that the Elections Code requires county elections officials to count provisional ballots if no other ballot is attributable to the voter, and as long as there are no other issues that would disqualify their provisional ballot. The case at issue, Faith Genzer et al. Versus the Butler County Board of Elections, stemmed from a lawsuit filed after the 2024 primary election by 2 Butler County voters. They claimed they were disenfranchised when the board refused to count provisional ballots the voters cast on Election Day after learning their mail ballots were disqualified for missing dates. The General Assembly has taken steps to pass amendments to clarify the vote-by-mail law in recent weeks, including making clear that county election officials must notify voters if their mail ballots are rejected. It passed the House with a 102 to 101 vote along party lines on May 13th. For the Pennsylvania Capital Star, I'm Natalie Bencavanga, and this is your Week in Focus.